divine message revealed 3 miraculous signs of heavenly deliverance for you today. In the quaint English village, where whispers of prayer fluttered like leaves on an autumn breeze, Elizabeth knelt at the foot of St. Michael's Church. The revered steeple towered above her, casting long shadows as the sun dipped low in the sky. Her son, Matthew, lay bedridden with a rare illness that had turned their lives into a nightmare. Each doctor's visit was a fresh wave of despair, his little spirit fading with every tick of the clock. The air felt thick with unanswered questions, and Elizabeth's heart raced with a desperate plea for divine intervention. "Lord, grant me a sign. Show me your mercy," she cried, her words spiraling upward, mingling with the gathering clouds. As the village settled into evening, a warmth enveloped her, igniting a flicker of hope deep within her heart. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The wind rustled through the gathered crowd, stirring leaves and candle flames alike. Elizabeth's tears fell, but their weight felt lighter, almost as if cradled by gentle hands. Could this be the first sign she sought? It was an invitation from the heavens. A congregation of villagers began to form, their faces illuminated by the glow of flickering candles, together whispering prayers for Matthew's health. The air thickened with faith, a palpable energy resonating with each fervent plea. These souls, united in purpose, felt an electric current. And then, as if orchestrated from above, one solitary candle stood unwavering against the brewing tempest, defiantly bright even as the wind howled in protest. Yes, it was a second sign, a beacon of unwavering faith amidst doubt. But still, Elizabeth felt uncertainty gnawing at her insides. Was this enough to drown her fears? It was in that moment the village's anxiety was pierced by the arrival of a humble stranger, cloaked in tattered garments as if he'd walked straight from the pages of history. His presence exuded calmness, a serene peace that enveloped the vigil. "Prayers hold power beyond measure," he declared, his voice resounding like a sacred hymn. "In a distant land, fervent prayers healed a boy much like yours." Hope surged through the crowd. Each listener exchanged glances, hearts fluttering at the thought of divine impact. Elizabeth felt a flame igniting, yet skepticism wrestled in her mind. Who was this man? Was he truly a messenger from God, or merely a figment of her desperate longing? Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Elizabeth stepped closer to the flickering candle, her heart a whirlwind of hope and fear. She whispered her prayer, one that ventured beyond a mother's plea for her son's healing. It wrapped around her wavering belief, begging for clarity. Would she accept the signs, trust in the unseen, or let shadows of doubt take their hold? Then, as if the heavens were witnessing her struggle, a low rumble of thunder broke through the night, shaking the very foundation of their vigil. The single candle flickered violently, its flame dancing amidst the tension. What would God reveal next? In that charged moment, every villager held their breath, a collective heartbeat rising, waiting for a miracle to unfold under the watchful gaze of St. Michael. A sudden hush fell over the vigil as the thunder rumbled once more, its sound echoing like a divine heartbeat across the village. Faces turned skyward, eyes wide, searching for the sky to yield its secrets. Elizabeth felt the weight of their collective hope pressing into her, infusing her with a strength she didn't know she possessed. The humble stranger stood unmoved, his eyes closed, as if listening to a melody only he could hear. "Brothers and sisters," he spoke softly, each word a seed of faith cast upon the hearts of the villagers. The storm does not come to shatter our faith, but to reveal the depths of our belief. This very night you shall witness the miraculous. His words washed over Elizabeth, wrapping around her heart like the embrace of a loving mother. Could this mean that deliverance was near? She clutched her hands, her knuckles white, seeking refuge in the promise of hope unfolding before her. As the wind howled and the candles fought against the gusts, the radiant candle surged higher. A beam of light shot forth, illuminating the darkest corners of the gathering. Elizabeth could feel the pulse of faith, raw and powerful, surging through the crowd like a river finding its way to the ocean. "Pray," the stranger urged. "Pray with all your heart, for prayer is the bridge that connects our sorrows to heaven's grace. Let not this night be cloaked in despair." With each word, Elizabeth felt more emboldened. She raised her voice, calling upon the name of Jesus, pleading for mercy and healing. Others joined her, a chorus of voices rising in a beautiful cacophony that pierced the heavens. The strangers, the known faces, the entire village became one, their prayers intertwining like the branches of ancient trees. "Let this be the night of change," she cried, the strength in her voice rooting itself in the hearts of the villagers. Elizabeth's eyes glimmered with renewed fervor, a promise glinting in the candlelight. She could feel God's presence closing in, like a blanket woven from the threads of faith, warm, comforting, and filled with the fragrance of hope. But suddenly, as the prayers grew louder, the candles flickered in synchrony, their flames responding to the sudden gusts of wind. Just then, Elizabeth noticed something stirring among the shadows cast by the steeple. Something was moving forward, something alive, something mirroring the flickering energy of their pleas. "I see," Elizabeth whispered, her heart racing. "What is that?" The villagers turned, a shuffling in the darkness catching their attention. A figure emerged from the shadows, bathed in the light of the single, unwavering candle. Time appeared to slow as the stranger approached, carrying a sense of purpose. Elizabeth's breath caught in her throat, anticipation stretching taut as a bowstring. In that moment, the stranger's eyes locked with hers. A knowing smile flickered across his lips. "Your faith has called forth something marvelous," he declared, voice resonating with authority. "Tonight, you shall witness the unfolding of God's plan." But as questions danced on Elizabeth's lips, the sky roared once more, drawing her gaze back up to the heavens. What divine surprise awaited just beyond the cloud? Will this be the turning point you've prayed for? As mystery cloaked the air, Elizabeth felt the world sharpen around her. What lay ahead? A miracle or a moment of deeper understanding? The truth awaited and denoted a revelation waiting to change everything. The moment pressed against Elizabeth like the still before a storm, filled with anticipation and longing. The air thickened with spiritual electricity, the villagers holding their breath as they waited for the unfolding of the promise. Elizabeth could sense a shift in the atmosphere, a weightiness that hinted at something extraordinary on the cusp of revelation. With the humble stranger standing as their beacon of hope, the gathered crowd began to kneel, their hearts open and their voices trembling in prayer. Elizabeth's spirits soared alongside the swell of their collective faith, a river of yearning flowing toward the heavens. The candle's flames flickered determinedly, as if refusing to be extinguished by the tempest that surrounded them. And then it happened. A brilliant flash of light erupted overhead, more radiant than the moonlight piercing through the storm clouds. Gasps of awe swept through the villagers, and Elizabeth found herself shielding her eyes from the dazzling illumination. The clouds parted momentarily, revealing an ethereal glow that felt alive and pulsing with divine energy. "Look," a voice cried out from the crowd, pointing toward the sky. "The heavens are opening." A sudden hush took hold again as eyes darted upward to witness the phenomenon. A shimmering brilliance emerged, casting a celestial reflection over the trembling earth. Whispers of "Holy, holy" flitted through the gathering, each word echoing with sincerity and reverence. Elizabeth felt her heart race, recognizing this sanctified moment as a bridge between heaven and earth. As the dazzling light coalesced, she began to discern 3 radiant signs, shimmering like constellations illuminating the night. Each beacon took on a distinct form, and Elizabeth could feel their meaning nestled deep within her spirit. The first sign pulsed like a beating heart, a reminder of God's unwavering love. "Behold the love that transcends all shadows," the stranger declared. His voice, "On your journey. They are reminders of what awaits beyond your fears." The crowd leaned in, eyes gleaming with reverence, almost as if collectively holding their breath. It felt as if the world stopped spinning, suspended in this moment charged with spiritual potential. "Embrace the love you have seen," the stranger urged, his gaze piercing through the hearts of those present. "Let it sink deep into your souls. It will mend what is broken and restore what is lost." Elizabeth absorbed his words, a warmth swelling in her chest like the first rays of dawn after a long night. Yes, love, divine, unconditional love, was their greatest ally. She could almost see the fabric of their village weaving back together, stitch by stitch. "Then comes strength," shouted the stranger, his voice like thunder echoing over the storm's growl. "Stand tall like the tower. Let it anchor your spirits amidst the trials that may come." The villagers straightened, their posture asserting newfound resilience. Elizabeth could feel the weight beginning to lift. As the rain fell, mingling with their prayers, she sensed that strength brewing within. It was as if every droplet whispered encouragement, fueling their collective resolve. They were no longer alone. Hope stirred together as one. And finally, the stranger said, his voice softening like a gentle breeze that brushed past them, "Feel the wings of grace. Lift your hearts to the heavens. Allow this freedom to envelop you, breaking chains of sorrow and doubt." Elizabeth closed her eyes again, envisioning the wings surrounding her, not just hers, but the wings of the whole village. It was a sanctuary built on trust, a safe haven arising from faith. Then a hush fell over them, a profound silence pregnant with possibility. The rain turned to a gentle mist, dissolving the boundaries between earth and heaven. "Now," the stranger said, glancing around the crowd, "the moment of decision has come. Will you seek this transformation, not just within yourselves, but collectively? Will you invite the miraculous to your lives?" The villagers exchanged glances, apprehension wavering and hope kindling. Slowly, hands began to rise, fingers outstretched toward the signs above, as if ready to embrace a new beginning. "Yes," Elizabeth heard herself shout, the sound ringing clear like a bell. "Let us trust, let us believe." It was a call woven from the depths of her heart, a challenge thrown into the air like a prayer. As the echo of her words faded, an electrifying energy rippled through the group. They felt the heartbeat beneath the rain, the pulsing divine invitation to step forward. The skies darkened momentarily, and a deep rumbling rolled through the air, but Elizabeth felt a sense of peace settling deep in her soul. What awaited them next? It was a question that loomed like the clouds above, heavy with the promise of the unknown. And as the last light of day began to dim, they stood ready, hearts entwined in faith, wondering what miracles would rapidly unfold at dawn. The dawn broke gently, its fingers stretching across the horizon like a divine promise. Elizabeth woke, still enveloped in the remnants of the stranger's words and the warmth of shared faith. She could feel the energy from last night coursing through her veins, vibrant and alive. The villagers began to gather once more, drawn by an unseen pull towards the clearing. In the soft morning light, each face was aglow, reflecting an inner light that seemed to resonate with them all, like a symphony playing in perfect harmony. "Where is the stranger?" a child asked, eyes wide with wonder, scanning the expanse for their unexpected guide. Elizabeth couldn't help but feel the absence, as if a vital part of their experience had slipped away with the night. Yet, the absence also heralded a new beginning. The air felt thicker now. Elizabeth sensed a divine fragrance of hope hanging around them, mingling with the scent of wet earth. It was intoxicating. Something was about to emerge. Suddenly, 3 beams of light broke through the clouds, pooling onto the ground before them like liquid gold. The villagers gasped. They instinctively moved closer together, hands clasped tightly, eyes wide with awe. The vibrant light seemed to call out to them, beckoning. "Behold," one elder proclaimed, stepping forward, his voice steady even though trembling with excitement. This must be the sign the stranger spoke of." Elizabeth felt it too, an overwhelming sensation of grace wrapped around her, folding into her heart, stretching it wider than she thought possible. The light danced, casting colors of peace and love over the gathering, transforming them. "Look," another villager shouted, pointing at the center of the light. Silhouetted figures began to take shape, a vision of familiar faces bathed in the radiant luminescence. They were loved ones lost to despair, fear, and sorrow, emerging from the shadows of memory. "Can it be?" Elizabeth whispered, choking back tears. "Is this just a trick of the light?" But their expressions were filled with joy, love weaving through those spectral forms. Beneath that radiant glow, Elizabeth knew with unwavering certainty that these were the echoes of hope returning. The realization stirred up a wave of emotion that washed over the crowd. Tears flowed freely, a mixture of joy, relief, and gratitude. The village was no longer sequestered in fear. Its heart had been opened wide to love's embrace. In that moment of connection, 3 voices united, harmonizing perfectly, each echoing a different truth. "Unity," one said. "Forgiveness," sang another. "Faith," the last rang out, resonating through the air, filling them all with divine purpose. As they listened, Elizabeth felt strength flooding back into them, igniting their spirits like kindled flames. "We are not forgotten," she sensed the words whisper in her soul. "We are loved beyond measure." Each villager found their voice joining in a multitude of praises. The joy was infectious, creating a palpable energy among them. They lifted their hands, reaching towards those radiant figures, yearning for connection, remembering who they were and who they could. When held together by love, and then silence fell again as suddenly as it arrived. The figures began to dissipate, pulling back into the embrace of light from whence they came. Yet, each heart among the villagers carried the imprint of that divine connection. Spirits sparkled in the air, making every heartbeat feel sacred and meaningful. "What now, dear friends?" Elizabeth spoke slowly, her heart racing with expectation. "We've seen the signs, we've felt the love. What is our next step?" As the sun climbed higher, illuminating the darkness of the previous night, a sense of urgency swirled among them. They pondered, hearts racing, for one thing was certain: the dawn ushered in more than just a new day. It was a call, a challenge, igniting their faith in a tangible way. What would they do with this miraculous gift? Would they move forward together, trusting in the love they had experienced? The mysterious whispers of heaven danced around them, leaving the villagers vibrating with anticipation. What awaited them beyond this divine moment? A question hung thick in the air, ready to propel them into the unknown. Elizabeth stood among her friends, their wide eyes reflecting both the remnants of last night's heavenly vision and the dawning reality of the present moment. The air was electric, charged with divine potential. Together, they could feel it, a sense of purpose knitting them closer with every heartbeat. "Let us build something," an elder suggested, his voice strong and filled with hope. "A place where we can gather, a sanctuary of love and unity where we will remember these moments." The crowd murmured in agreement, inspired by the shared vision. Everyone began to speak, their voices overlapping in joyful enthusiasm. Each suggestion added layer upon layer to their growing purpose. Some envisioned a garden, flourishing with plants that symbolized growth. Others dreamed of a communal space filled with laughter and light, where joy could overflow and mercy could reign. In that moment, Elizabeth felt a tug in her heart. It wasn't just about building a physical space. It was about creating a spiritual home that transcended walls. "But we must also extend this love beyond these grounds," she added, her voice rising with conviction. "Let us not only gather here, but reach out into the darkness beyond our village. We've tasted grace. Let us share it." The villagers nodded, their spirits ignited by her words. It was as if Elizabeth's suggestion placed a seed of transformation in the air, and the blossoms were beginning to unfold. They began to discuss how they could reach neighboring communities, share stories of hope, and support those who still felt alone. Suddenly, a hush swept through the crowd as a soft whistling sound reverberated through the clearing. From the edge of the woods, a flock of birds took flight, spiraling into the sky. Their wings glinted as they caught the sunlight, a living tapestry of hope. In unison, the villagers lifted their eyes, captivated by the beauty. "Look!" someone shouted, pointing at the sky. "They are a sign!" The feathers glimmered, shifting colors, symbolizing the promise of their intentions soaring beyond the horizon. It was a magnificent reminder, a divine reminder that they were called to rise, just as those birds did, with faith guiding their flight. "Let us pray," Elizabeth exclaimed, her heart surging with spontaneous joy. They formed a circle, hand in hand, breathing in the air thick with expectation. Each voice lifted in prayer, a symphony of gratitude, awe, and purpose. Elizabeth felt the warmth of their prayers wrapping around them like a scarf, and the love they shared became palpable. It was a warmth that transcended words. Deep inside, she understood that they were not only building a sanctuary, they were forging a community guided by heavenly love. As the prayers wound down, a gentle breeze whispered through the gathering, inviting contemplation and peace. They opened their eyes, and Elizabeth saw the glow of resurrection in each visage. "What if our journey begins today?" she encouraged, looking at each villager. "What if we stepped out of our comfortness to embrace every opportunity God sends our way?" A chorus of amen echoed around her, sealing their resolve. It felt like a new beginning, a collective commitment to walk in faith together. The village now pulsed with energy, the morning sun casting a sacred light over their plans. The sun had reached its zenith, illuminating everything with a golden hue. Elizabeth smiled, feeling the promise of hope radiating through her soul. As they turned to discuss the next steps in their newfound endeavor, a soft shimmer caught her eye. The light flickered briefly, responding to their collective enthusiasm. But then, as suddenly as it sparked, the shimmer vanished, leaving a question hovering in the air. What would their next divine encounter bring? Would they recognize the signs from heaven when they came? The villagers fell silent, their hearts beating in unison. Each one felt the compelling pull of the unknown, urging them forward into a realm of possibilities. Where faith would lead them next was still a mystery waiting to unfold. Elizabeth felt a stirring within her, a deep yearning mixed with excitement and uncertainty. Her heart was aflame with the possibilities that lay ahead, and yet a shadow of doubt flickered at the edges of her spirit. What would becoming a beacon of light truly require of them? As the group began to disperse, gathering materials and ideas for their sanctuary, Elizabeth remained behind for a moment, feeling drawn to the edge of the clearing. She paused, taking in the vibrant colors around her, each hue reflecting the hope resonating within. The trees whispered gentle secrets, as if urging her to seek a deeper understanding of the call she had felt. "Lord," she whispered, her voice trembling with anticipation, "show me how to extend your love beyond our borders. How can we be your hands and feet in our world?" She closed her eyes, surrendering to the divine presence. She sensed surrounding her. A cool breeze embraced her, carrying familiar scents of damp earth and blooming wildflowers. Elizabeth breathed deeply, letting the tranquility wash over her like a refreshing wave. Suddenly, a soft rustle broke the stillness. Startled, she opened her eyes to see an elderly woman approaching, her gait steady but graceful. It was Miriam, known for her wisdom and insight. Her face bore the marks of time, yet her eyes sparkled with life. An aura of unwavering faith draped upon her like a celestial cloak. "Miriam!" Elizabeth exclaimed, gratitude blossoming in her chest. "What brings you here?" The old woman smiled, her voice a gentle whisper. "I felt a pull of the spirit, dear Elizabeth. It is time for us to remember the stories, the miracles we've experienced together. They are the threads that bind us." Elizabeth's heart swelled as she listened. They had all witnessed wonders, the times when hope surfaced in despair and healing graced the hopeless. But how do we share these stories? How do we make them alive again? "Through remembrance and storytelling," Miriam replied, her eyes softening. "The past illumination can spark the light in others. Gather your friends, let us testify to our experiences, for they are stones of remembrance." A smile broke across Elizabeth's face, and she felt the weight of possibility resting upon her shoulders. "You're right, our stories will guide us. They will ignite the faith in those who feel alone. As we share, we will see the unseen," Miriam continued. "Sometimes the biggest transformations come from the smallest acts of faith." Encouraged, Elizabeth called for her neighbors, and one by one they returned, curious expressions igniting their hopes anew. "Gather around," she proclaimed. "We're about to summon the power of our memories. Let's share the goodness we've seen. Let's recount how God has led us through the trials and lifted us in joy." With hearts now open, the villagers began to share. With each story of divine intervention and comfort, the atmosphere grew charged, like swirling winds lifting their spirits higher. Laughter erupted, tears flowed, and faces shone with renewed light. They spoke of healing, guidance, and peace, even in the darkest of hours. As each heartbeat harmonized with these sacred narratives, the sky darkened momentarily. A rumble of thunder echoed, startling them, but they remained steadfast. Somehow, they felt that God's presence was weaving through their shared experiences, a promise renewing itself amid the clouds. A moment of silence crept in, the villagers holding their breath, sensing an unveiling was near. It felt like the calm before a joyous storm. "What comes next for us?" Elizabeth pondered aloud, her fingers clasping the cool soil beneath her. "If our stories are alive today, what will tomorrow bring?" The air filled with expectation, and a gentle glow erupted from the center of their gathering, beckoning them toward a path that was still hidden. Little did they know, the answers were fast approaching, shrouded in the mystery of the moments yet to unfold. But one thing was certain: God was already moving among them, and the miraculous journey had just begun. The gentle breeze swirled around them, shimmering like hope on the horizon. As the villagers exchanged stories, Elizabeth felt a warmth radiating from their connection, a sacred bond forged through shared experiences. The air was thick with anticipation, and excitement danced in every heart. She glanced at Miriam, who was observing the joy around them with a knowing smile, as if she held the secrets of the universe. "Can you feel it?" Elizabeth whispered, her heart racing. "Something is happening." Miriam nodded, her eyes keen. "Yes, dear child, the spirit is stirring. When we open our hearts, we invite divine moments to collide with our reality." Just then, a flash of light burst through the gathering, illuminating each face in brilliance. Gasps resonated from the crowd. They took a collective step back, eyes wide, basking in the unexpected glow. A radiant figure appeared, floating among them as if defying the very laws of nature. It was a simple light, yet it felt like a person, a connection to the divine. "Fear not," a soft, melodic voice echoed, a voice that seemed to resonate deep within their souls. "I am here to remind you of the faith you share. Let your hearts be filled with the knowledge that the time has come for your stories to take flight." Elizabeth felt the tears welling in her eyes, overcome with emotion. The confident reassurance washed over her like a calming tide. "What shall we do?" she implored. "What is our purpose?" "Speak, O faithful ones. Share not only your successes, but your struggles," the light encouraged, flickering warmly. "For every mountain of despair contains valleys of hope. Your story shall connect with others in ways you cannot fathom. It is through vulnerability that the seeds of healing and transformation will sprout." As the being spoke, a silken thread of clarity unfurled within Elizabeth. She recalled moments of doubt, times when darkness draped over her spirit. Yet, even amid sorrow and uncertainty, those experiences molded strength, breathing life into her faith. She turned to her neighbors, each one visibly moved. "Let's dig deeper into our hearts. Let's embrace not only our victories, but also our wounds," Elizabeth enthused, her voice rising with renewed fervor. "We can find a powerful reflection of God's greatness in our struggles." Miriam stepped forward, her face radiant. "Yes, let us recount those hard seasons. The darkness reveals the stars. Those experiences not only touch us, they unite us. They remind us of grace." With this newfound focus, the villagers began to reminisce. They spoke of anguish and tears, of unanswered prayer that later blossomed into unimaginable blessings. Stories of fear, transformed into faith, fueled their dialogue, infusing the atmosphere with an electrifying energy that felt cosmic in scale. Elizabeth surveyed the scene, hands clasped, heads bowed, eyes shining with tears of joy and hope. "You see, God's hand was with us all along." No pain is wasted when shared in His presence. As people began to clap and cheer, the light flared brightly, illuminating the twilight clearing surrounding them. It felt as if the stars themselves descended to witness the gathering, capturing every moment in divine jubilation. In this sacred space, Elizabeth felt the weight of purpose settle gently upon their shoulders. They were being called to share, to spread the light of their faith far beyond the clearing. But as the celebration reached its peak, a change swept through the crowd. The vibrant light began to fade, leaving them in a tender twilight. Unease flickered at the edges of Elizabeth's heart, and she sensed that this celebration was merely the beginning. "What's next?" she wondered aloud, unconsciously echoing her earlier question. "Will this light guide us further?" And just as the words left her lips, the light pulsed, revealing 3 cloaked figures veiled in mystery, standing at the edge of the clearing, waiting to impart the next act of divine revelation. The villagers gasped collectively, curiosity igniting within them. What lay ahead? What lessons would unfold in the coming days? These questions lingered in the air, and Elizabeth knew that something monumental was about to happen. The cloaked figures stood silent, their presence both daunting and awe-inspiring. Elizabeth felt the energy in the air change, intensifying as the villagers collectively held their breath. The warmth of shared stories lingered, but now it felt charged, as though the air itself was vibrating with divine anticipation. The first figure stepped forward. The fabric of its cloak shimmered like morning dew under the sun, and the face that emerged was one of compassion and wisdom. "I bring a message of hope," the voice rang out, resonating in the hearts of everyone present. "Just as the dawn chases away the darkest night, so shall your faith break through the barriers that hold you back. Know that every trial is a stepping stone leading you here." A soft gasp echoed through the villagers. Elizabeth noticed the nodding heads, the understanding growing among them. This was not just a random encounter. It was the fulfillment of a promise they'd carried in their hearts. The second figure stepped forward, the edge of the cloak brushing the ground like a whisper. "In your struggles, do not forget the power of community," this figure proclaimed. "Like the branches of a tree intertwined in the wind, your strength comes from one another. Together you shall rise. Do not shy away from reaching out, for healing often awaits in the hearts of your neighbors." As those words sank in, a murmur of agreement spread through the audience. Elizabeth felt emboldened. Dreams of connection fluttered within her like a butterfly released from a chrysalis. Each story shared, every wound exposed, brought them closer together. Then the third figure emerged, holding a small lantern that flickered with an otherworldly glow. "You are the bearers of light in this world," it declared with urgency. "Let it shine not only for yourselves, but for those still wandering in shadows. The journey ahead is filled with uncertainty, but your faith lights the way. Remember, even the smallest flame can illuminate the darkest path." The villagers stood transfixed, absorbing the wisdom imparted upon them. Elizabeth's heart raced, feeling the exhilarating pull of purpose. Each word echoed in her soul like a scripture, awakening long-buried yearnings. Miriam, awash in joy, spoke up. "Let us heed these words. We are being called to share more than just our triumphs. Let us bear witness to all that God has done in us. We have a community forged in faith, and together we will invite others to heal." The villagers began to gather closer, joining hands and forming a circle of unity that radiated warmth and safety. Elizabeth looked around at the glow of their faces, where hope and belief shone brightly. Yet in that warmth, a flicker of doubt brushed against her heart. What if the light dimmed again? What if they stumbled? The question swirled, but she pushed through. "Together, we are stronger," she affirmed, her voice cutting through the uncertainty. "Together, we can spread the light." Just as the villagers joined in a chorus of agreement, the three cloaked figures nodded once, their task completed. Elizabeth felt an urge to reach out to them, to grasp their wisdom in her hands and carry it always, but they began to fade. The lantern's glow grew dim, yet it sparked something within Elizabeth, a deeper desire to understand her own purpose. Before they vanished into the twilight, the first figure turned, a glimmer of light dancing in its eyes. "Embrace the challenge, for the journey awaits," it whispered. "Fear not, for your next step will reveal the truth you seek. Trust in the unfolding." And then they were gone. The stars flickered above, each shining brighter, and the collective heartbeat of the villagers quickened with a sense of urgency and hope. Elizabeth knew a profound change awaited them now, yet the questions loomed heavy. What truth would they uncover? How far would their light need to shine to reach those trapped in darkness? The air buzzed with a palpable energy, setting the stage for their next move. As Elizabeth glanced towards the endless horizon, she felt an undeniable pull forward, a journey about to begin. What awaited them beyond familiarity? What discoveries would challenge their faith? And how would they respond? Only time would tell, but the Spirit stirred within her, urging her steps into the unknown. Elizabeth stood on the edge of the gathering, the whispers of the evening still echoing in her soul. The cloak of uncertainty hung heavy, but as dawn painted the sky in hues of hope, she understood. It was no longer just about her. It was about the heart of the village, unified in a melody of faith. As the villagers began to disperse, their spirits buoyed by the visit of the mysterious figures, she gathered them once more. "Friends, we have been blessed with direction. Let us not delay any further. We must embark on our journey together and share the light that we have found." A chorus of agreement rippled through the audience, each person buoyed by a newfound resolve. Elizabeth could feel the heartbeat of the community resonating like a mighty drum, their love intertwined, powerful enough to shatter darkness. They spoke of gathering supplies, creating a sanctuary that would be a true reflection of the faith that had been ignited in their hearts. Each villager shared their gifts, their skills, forging plans with the energy of a wildfire. Laughter flitted through the air as ideas intertwined, swirling like leaves in a warm breeze. "Let us build a garden," suggested one elder, his eyes twinkling with vision, "a place where all can come and find peace." "And a community center," another chimed in, "where we can gather to share stories, remember our past, and create new memories." But as they planned and imagined, Elizabeth felt that tug again, the urgency to also reach out into the wider world. "But we must also extend our hands beyond these walls," she insisted, her heart racing, "for there are many souls waiting to hear our stories, the stories of healing, love, and transformation." The crowd fell silent, nodding in reflection. "Yes, we are called to be vessels," Miriam spoke up, her voice steady. "Every story shared will be an anchor of hope for someone wandering." "Let us move," Elizabeth declared, grabbing their hands. "Together we will embrace every opportunity to share God's love. Our journey is just beginning, and it will lead to many miraculous encounters." With hearts ignited, the villagers set forth upon their newfound mission. They visited neighboring towns, inviting those who struggled and those who felt lost. A tapestry of faces emerged, each woven into the fabric of their journey. They shared laughter, tears, and meals, opening their arms and hearts wide to those in need. And as the days turned into weeks, Elizabeth witnessed miracles unfold. More came to stand alongside them, drawn by the whispers of hope carried on the wind. The vibrant garden flourished even in storms, its roots tangled deep within the ground, demonstrating the resilience of their faith. The sanctuary lit up with stories. They sang praises of healing, and each voice that rose in unity echoed like a beacon. Elizabeth's heart swelled. Within their shared experiences, they were building a refuge, a sacred space restored through love. Yet even in moments of joy, shadows emerged, stirring doubts. Sometimes the doubts weighed heavy like dark clouds, threatening to eclipse the light. It was in these moments Elizabeth would gather them, remembering the teachings of the mysterious figures. "When we stand together in vulnerability, we become invincible," she proclaimed, her voice fierce and unwavering. With every challenge they faced, they leaned into one another, creating pathways of support. The village became a living testament to God's miraculous embrace, growing stronger not just